Good morning. My name is Raven Sisco. I am an English, creative writing, and English language development teacher at Mount Pleasant High School in Eastside, San Jose. This is my 6th year teaching, and this has been my first experience with the Yale National Initiative. So I'm very excited to share my experience. So the seminar this past summer, I had the privilege of participating in Ian Shapiro's Democracy and Inequality seminar. It looks like there's no access, but it's okay. I'll have time at the end for questions. So one of the main texts that we read before the seminar started was called The Great Escape: Health, Wealth, and the Origins of Inequality by Angus Deaton. And this book examines real-world examples of inequality throughout the United States and the world. And as I was reading, I kept thinking about how these issues connected to the books that we read in my AP English Literature and Composition course, especially the dystopian novel 1984 by George Orwell. This connection between the real world and the world of fiction inspired me to investigate the historical and biographical context in which Orwell wrote this novel. I hoped that this investigation would help deepen my and my students' understanding of the commentary that exists under the surface of this particular novel, and in this way be able to connect this novel to issues of inequality in the world today. Many of my own students face the issue of oppression and inequality in their own community, which is a less affluent area of San Jose that is populated predominantly by students of color who are the children of immigrants or are immigrants themselves. So from an academic standpoint, one of the primary objectives of this unit that I wanted to focus on was the California Common Core Standard for English Language Arts in the area of reading literature, which says that students should be able to cite strong and textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly, as well as inferences drawn from the text. As this was the first unit our class completed, I wanted to strengthen the skill of recognizing what a text is saying under the surface, as it is crucial to the class throughout the rest of the year. Some of the teaching strategies that I used included think, pair, share, online research, technology integration, and a fishbowl discussion, which I will talk about more in a moment. Let's skip a slide. 1 second. We want to look at this. Okay. So I like to divide my units into 3 main parts. So into the text, through the text, beyond the text. And this is an overview of how this unit went. So we looked at 1984, some excerpts first to kind of give the students a taste of Orwell's style of writing and just get them excited about some of the context, some of the content in the text. And we looked at The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus, which in itself contains possible political commentary about immigration. And students completed a scavenger hunt activity in which they looked up historical information and biographical information about Orwell and the time in which he lived and wrote. We also read excerpts from Homage to Catalonia, which is a nonfiction book written by Orwell, where he talks about his involvement in the Spanish Civil War. And we discussed government systems, what different types of government systems and what system might be present in 1984 or what kind of combination of a system. We also discussed civic education, which was from the book On Democracy that we also read for the seminar, for Ian's seminar. And then past the reading of the text, we did the final task, possible solutions. So for the fishbowl discussion was a strategy that I figured would be suitable for transitioning out of distance learning and Zoom discussions, which were difficult and there wasn't a lot of engagement with those. And students maybe lost their confidence in their discussion skills. So for the fishbowl, 4 students sit in the middle who have been nominated by their peers, and then the students agreed to participate. And those students discussed the prompt each on 2 sides of the claim. So 2 on one side, 2 on the other. And then as they're discussing in the middle of the class, the rest of the students are watching and taking notes. Hence why it's called a fishbowl, because they're all looking at them. This allows more confident students to kind of take the reins in the discussion, while less confident students have a discussion modeled for them, but they're still also involved in the discussion. There is also an opportunity for any student to step in and add a point or counter argument to the discussion if they want, and then leave the discussion. So nobody is left out if they want to participate, but they were not selected. So the final task for this unit, after reading the novel, instead of being a literary analysis essay, which is what I would normally do, was a creative proposal of a possible solution for the oppression present in 1984. So I thought that by asking students to creatively express in writing or in a visual form how a solution could take place, it would help them think more concretely about how to recognize and solve issues of inequality in the world around them, and celebrate their own strengths by allowing for different methods of showing understanding. And the options for the final task included a chapter rewrite showing how the inequality could be solved from any point of the plot in the novel, whether it's at the end or somewhere maybe a little earlier where a difference could have been made, a campaign poster or pamphlet inspiring characters into action, a video representation of their possible solution, or a letter to a particular character to inspire that individual into action. And then these on the screen are some examples of some screenshots of some of the final tasks that students did. I do have a folder of them I would love to share, but I can't post it to the chat. So if there's a way I can do that, I will share, because they really just took it and ran with it, and it was nice, very beautiful. So at the end of each unit in my class, I ask students to reflect. They practice metacognition by answering reflection questions about how they succeeded, what activities helped increase their skills, what goals they have for next grading period, what support they need. And without any prompting, I did not bribe her, one of my students kind of hit the nail on the head, which made me feel that my unit was maybe successful, at least in this case. When asked how she succeeded during this unit, she responded, "I succeeded in being able to make connections from the book to our reality. Many of these themes in the book, such as oppression and manipulation through fear, are involved in our government." The fact that she saw making that connection as a success, like as her success, gives me hope that my students are going to go forward and make a difference in the world.